What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, KB watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers. Welcome back to the Young Guns podcast, episode number. Why does it say 43 in my title? It should be 47. I just noticed that. It's episode 47.
Wow.
I'm gonna go and change that right now. We're only 3 away from episode 50. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. But yeah, what
Yeah.
up, everybody? The NFL draft is over, done. It happened. The Giants drafted who they drafted. They had a pretty good draft, in my opinion. It's been a crazy 3 months building up to it, and now it's done. But KB, what up, man? How you doing? And what you thinking?
I'm doing good, man. I'm still breaking down the draft. I got some a lot of draft content coming out, like from what happened in this past draft, especially New York Giants stuff as well, breaking down our draft picks and soon the undrafted free agents. Listen, I think it's another slam dunk draft. This is Dave Gettleman's fourth draft. I'm having a hard time really where to rank this draft out of all of his drafts. But listen, man, they were all good. They were all productive. Let's see how this one ends up. Listen, we got some crazy value as we done with most of Dave Gettleman's draft. So it excites me, man. I'm really really excited. KADARIUS Toney, AZEEZ, even Aaron Robinson I like, and especially Ellerson Smith. I fall in love with this dude, man. So yeah, extremely excited.
I mean, shout out to everybody in here: David A.V., Joseph Balby, Jay and the Champ, Logan's Giant Zone, and Savio so far. I mean, we could just start right from the top then, I guess. You guys were watching us live of night one, round one, over on KB's channel. You saw a reaction to what happened when the Eagles jumped us, and then you saw a reaction when we traded down. What'd you think about the first round, man?
As far as the Giants go, or just far in general?
Let's do general, then we can get into the Giants.
Okay. Well, the first round pretty much there were some, I guess, surprise picks, but the first round pretty much went how I guess we would guess it would. Justin Fields fell, not too far. We thought he would fall just because of all this controversy, and he wound up falling. I think it was a really good draft. There wasn't a lot of picks where you're like, oh my god, why the hell did they do that? Maybe one or two. Oakland, Vegas, right? They're Vegas now. Vegas getting Alex Leatherwood is probably the most questionable pick out of all of them, and even that one isn't that so much outlandish. Of course, the tackles on the board there, but I mean, I thought it was a really good first round. I thought teams actually did well. There were tons of trades, man.
I was about to say, there was a lot of trades, man.
Yeah, tons of trades within the whole entire draft, but the first round was a lot as well. So it was fun. It was a really fun draft. Me and you got to stream it, and man, it was awesome. But as far as the New York Giants go, man, they really listen. Dave Gettleman really pulled out a wild card, man. Nobody thought Dave Gettleman had the balls to trade down, and I feel like he did that out of spite. I feel like he traded down out of spite.
He might have did it out of spite, but what a great trade it was.
Oh, it was great. It just finessed it the whole way. Listen, I honestly think a lot of people are saying that they came out and said, well, Devontae Smith, it was a smokescreen, that they didn't want him. That's what I'm hearing now. No, I think they want. Yeah, they definitely wanted Devontae Smith. Who wouldn't want Devontae Smith? And listen, he was about to fall to us, and then the Eagles try to finesse us, and they pick up Devontae Smith. And then Dave Gettleman did not panic. He said, all right, screw it. You guys want to do that? Let me just phone up Chicago. They've been trying to trade since the 7th pick. That's what the rumors were. They were trying to get up all the way to the 7th pick. They were denied time and time again. And then it was Dave Gettleman picked up the phone and said, you know what? Let's do it. Kevin Abrams, you take the reins and go out with this trade. And we picked up another first round pick, baby. Let's go. And we got a fourth. KADARIUS Toney.
We
and
picked
a fourth round pick.
And I think a third next year from the AZEEZ trade. So we got a free third-round pick from we're going to get into AZEEZ after we talk about Toney, but we got a free third-round pick, which I think,
yes.
Obviously the most impressive trade tonight was the Toney one, but that AZEEZ one was literally just, they gave us a third-rounder for nothing.
The reason why it was so impressive, that second-round pick, that when we look back on it, is not only did we pick up that third-round pick next year, we still got a player that should have went in the first round, and we traded down another 8 slots. You know how dangerous that is to trade down a whole 8 slots? And a guy
just like I thought it was dangerous when we traded
there.
down from 11 to 20, man.
Yeah, and a guy that we want is still there both times. And then check this out: when we trade up to get Aaron Robinson, we only trade the 5th round pick we received in the first round. So it was perfect. It was so perfect how we did it, man.
Shout out to everybody coming in here. I see G537. He's saying screw the Eagles. Edward Chan saying the Knicks are getting absolutely beat. What up, David? Miz in here. He said, "Sup, Mr. Hub? Kidblue, you know about the Goat Gelman." He also says, "Kidblue, you and I have never spoken. What's going on, man?"
What's going on? Who said that?
Miz.
Who said that? Miz. Oh, we've spoken. I don't think probably live. Maybe yeah. We've spoken.
C Bands in here as well. Your Ligma
Bradley.
in here. Joseph Balby in here. Jada Giants fan in here. What up, everybody? Miz is saying, I'm already looking forward towards next year's draft. It's very deep and talented defensively. Love it. It might be, I don't know, maybe it's a bit too early to call that, but I will see. Sometimes you could tell a little bit early on how it's going to be, but that's why we love the future picks that we got, man.
Yeah, and listen, you gotta love the future picks because the next year in the collegiate football season, it's gonna be back to normal. Like everything's gonna be back to normal. So that's why a lot of teams were trading down. They were stocking up on picks for next year. You know, it's a regular college year. You know, as much as we didn't like to think of it like this, but even Dave Gettleman said it. They're having a hard time scouting these players and picking, and they're really like kind of second guessing themselves when they're making some of these picks and grading some of these guys because some of them are opt outs, some of them haven't played the whole entire year, some of them are only have a couple years of experience. So this was a really odd draft, and a lot of teams were very, very shaky in getting a lot of these prospects. So trading down and getting picks next year is ideally the best move. So shouts out to Dave Gettleman for doing it twice.
Yeah,
twice.
And also Thrill Collins in here as well. CG in here. He said, great job by our front office on moving picks into the future in a deeper draft with better scouting opportunities. Then Tommy G says, we could use one of our third or two of our fourth rounds to move back up into the second next year too. And then we have 2 first-round players and 2 second-round players. Sheesh. I mean, yeah. That's how it would be.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's Joel Yaddo in there under his YouTube channel name, Classified with Joel. What up, Joel? Finally got it up and running.
That's awesome. But I forgot what I was gonna say. But man, like as a backup plan, and you know, you heard a couple of people say this already, but as a backup plan. Listen, if Daniel Jones somehow doesn't work out, we don't like to talk about it. But if he somehow does not work out, he's not the future. We have a bunch of picks to go ahead and get a quarterback. I mean, but now I don't like the quarterback class next year. Maybe Spencer Rattler could really pick it up and make himself a number 1 overall worthy pick. A lot of Oklahoma quarterbacks have done that. You know, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield for as a couple. So we'll see what happens. I really hope that Daniel Jones works out. But if anything, we have picks stacked up for next season.
Mm-hmm. And then let's see here. Oh, this is a new one. I didn't notice. Somebody said, fun fact. Oh, it's Thrill Collins. We didn't select any opt-outs. And to be honest, we should have expected that. I don't think Judge and his coaching staff would want any opt-outs, not because of, they opted out, because I think they understand why. It's more so of like, we have more to go off of for the players that didn't opt out. You know what I'm saying? We have more to look at and more to judge.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying before when I was listening to Dave Gettleman's press conferences during the draft and after the draft. He was constantly talking about the opt-outs and not having enough, I guess, information on a lot of these players due to the circumstances that happened in this season. And it's no surprise that, listen, Dave Gettleman's old school. He wants those scouts to go out there and gather all the information they can. If they weren't able to gather information, they weren't sure about a player, they're not going to go ahead and grab them. Now you could say something about KADARIUS TONEY, him not being so experienced, but he did play last season. And, it's what have you done for me lately in this league, man? And it's really scary. Like, for example, Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase. Trust me. I love me some Jamar Chase. But there's always the question, is he still Jamar Chase? You understand? He didn't play in 2020. His last quarterback was Joe Burrow in 2019. So is he still Jamar Chase? Now, these guys are still training, but they're not getting any action. That's the thing. So, and we'll see. And there was a lot of prospects that there is to be excited about. Ellerson Smith, for one, that we drafted in the 4th round. He was also an opt-out, or was it opt-out, or they just didn't play a season?
No, that's why Throw was like, have any opt-outs, but his entire conference didn't play. That's why he didn't play.
Okay, entire yeah. UNI didn't play. The University of Northern Iowa did not play in 2020, and it's some of these guys look a lot better from the last time they played. Like Ellerson Smith in 2019, that guy looked like he was 220 pounds, like he was a freaking stick, like Cam Brown, straight stick. I was looking at film on him when he was actually playing at UNI, and then when he was in the Senior Bowl. And oh my God, this guy gained like freaking 40 pounds,
Yeah.
dude. He
From
went
freshman
Leonard,
to one to now, like the
yeah.
work that shows the work ethic, man.
He went from looking like Leonard Floyd to Olivier Vernon. Like
Hmm.
no joke. That's the transformation he went through. So guys like that get me really excited. Like I'm actually kind of happy he didn't play in 2020 because it excites me to see what he can be now. And so we'll see, man. But yeah, it was a crazy draft. But I thought the Giants did a phenomenal
And
job.
you know what? I want to get into the draft, the first round, so we could knock it off and go through the entire thing. But a couple people brought this up in the chat so far, and it's gonna be unavoidable. I just want to get it out the way. The Aaron Rodgers rumors and Aaron Rodgers linked to New York. I'm gonna let you start that off.
Matt Lombardo, you trash human being. He's like
It's not
he's
even
like,
just him though. Like that, these rumors have been going about for a couple days now.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Listen, when I tell you,
Oh,
you
what a
know,
brick also in there. And Paul
with some of
Nonis.
these rumors, guys, you know when they're actually coming from an NFL source and when it's trying to be clickbait. The whole Deshaun Watson crap was so clickbait. It was dragged out, and lo and behold, the Giants were not in the talks. Okay. And then this Aaron Rodgers thing comes out. It's the same situation. They're just Giants fans or people in Giants media trying to look for some clicks, trying to stay in relevant news. Right now, the biggest news, the biggest NFL story is Aaron Rodgers. They're trying to put slap the Giants name on there so they can get their clicks in and they can be relevant. That's exactly what's happening, guys. Matt Lombardo is trying to I see on him mostly. From and then G-Man HQ out there, and then Fanside, which Matt Lombardo's a part of, are trying to like throw this out there with Aaron Rodgers and the Giants, and they're having clickbait titles like the Giants are like not really interested, and for lack of a better word, interested in Aaron Rodgers. But when you click on the article, it just says why they think the Giants have a chance of getting Aaron Rodgers. Nobody cares what you think. Whatever your name is, Ronald, I don't know who your name is, all right? Nobody cares what you think. I want to know an actual source.
I do want to point out, a lot of people just seem to forget, shout out to CJ for repeating this, Gelman buried this already. His literal quote on the Aaron Rodgers thing was, "It's none of my business." And then he also went on to go on of a small rant. He's like, "It seems you guys just don't believe us, or for some reason don't want to take our word when we say Daniel Jones is our quarterback."
He snapped off a little bit.
He was a little bit angry, and I was like, I can see why he's angry. They keep asking it over and over again.
And that was after the first round. That was when they were talking about KADARIUS Toney. And we're over here trying to talk about KADARIUS Toney, and they're shifting the conversation to Aaron Rodgers, talking about, have you made a call about Aaron Rodgers? Dave Gettleman, clean and clear, he said, listen, we're not interested.
It ain't my business, man.
Yeah, it ain't my business. And then he said, Daniel Jones is our quarterback.
We've been telling you. I think his
Jones
exact quote was like, "We've been telling you since like January or something like that." Whatever presser that was back in January, the end of the season presser.
Yeah. Daniel Jones is our quarterback. There is no way the Giants are going to go off a rebuilding process with a 37-year-old quarterback.
When the team is finally, by the way, in my opinion, like finished rebuilt. If things go right this season, the rebuild is over. And I was the one that called it like super early. I was like, when we signed Kenny Galladay, I was like, the rebuild is over. Now the rebuild is officially over, in my opinion, after the draft.
Yeah, and check this out. Even Dave Gettleman took a shot at Aaron Rodgers. That, like, under his breath, he's like, and he's 37 years old.
Yeah,
like,
he was
they don't want a
he's
37-year-old quarterback off of a rebuilding project. They're not going to want that, okay? They want Daniel Jones. They're trying to develop.
You think Joe Judge is going to tolerate Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is like, he will walk in there saying, like, I want this done, and Joe Judge is like, you're out of your mind, buddy. You got to earn your spot.
Joe Judge would literally knock this man out, bro. Especially if the rumors about the fight with Colombo being a fight was a thing. If Aaron Rodgers says something sideways, bro, Joe Judge knocking him out, bro.
Listen, if the Giants were seriously looking for another quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, although he's an all-time great, he still has something left in the tank. They would have just drafted one. they would have just drafted a quarterback. They're not going to go after a 37-year-old quarterback that will not be the future of your franchise. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So anybody that's trying to put that clickbait out there and trying to drive the clicks, guys, don't even listen to their article. Don't pay no mind to them, guys.
Where do you
Don't
think
pay
he
no
would
mind.
go? Because
Where I think he would
there ain't
go,
no way he's
man.
going back to Green Bay.
Listen, I really, really wanted him to go to San Fran, but they drafted Trey Lance. There's no way he's gonna go to San Fran. But I really want him to go to San Fran. I'm hearing the Broncos are making a push. I think the Broncos probably the only destination I really see because I mean, look at all the teams that really that will need a quarterback and need a quarterback. I mean, they pretty much got their quarterback. You know, I mean, unless the Saints want to go ahead and bring in Aaron Rodgers when they have Jameis and Taysom Hill there, unless that's what they want to do, then sure. But I think Denver is the biggest spot because, listen, we all thought the Denver Broncos were going to get a quarterback in this draft. They didn't get one. So they just have Drew Lock there. And my guy, Brett Rippon, Boise State Bronco, now a Denver Bronco. Brett Rippon, ripping it. He's a beast. But
do the Saints, am I tripping, or do the Saints find Breeze's replacement yet?
I hope it's Jameis. I do.
I hope it's Jameis as well.
I really hope it's Jameis, man. I don't hate Jameis, but I don't love Jameis. But I want him. I want him to succeed, man. I really do. So I hope he's a quarterback there. I don't even know who's starting there because first they like committed to Taysom Hill, and then we're hearing some talk that they're committing to Jameis Winston now. I don't know who's the starter, but we'll see. But I don't know if Aaron Rodgers would be thrown into that mix. But I think Denver is the biggest location. I just can't imagine Aaron in a Denver uniform. I don't know if that's the market he wants to go to. I mean,
imagine if he goes to Washington.
Oh dear God, no! Oh my God, they're Super Bowl contenders already. They're Super. That's like
You have Washington as a Super Bowl contender?
No. If Aaron Rodgers goes there, they will be Super Bowl contenders. Like think about it. Washington's roster right now is the best roster Aaron Rodgers has had in a while. Green Bay's roster is constantly trash, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Washington has some guys, man. They got some guys over there. They bring in Aaron Rodgers. They bring in a competent quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Oh God.
Really?
I'm just saying. Aaron Rodgers with those weapons can make something happen. Now he would need a run game though. They're struggling with the run game. Antonio Gibson is really not it. But Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy. I know he's getting older. He may need a running game, but he doesn't need one to succeed. He can get guys like freaking Terry McLaurin open and De'Ami Brown, and they got a bunch. Logan Thomas. Aaron Rodgers loves using the tight ends, dude. They got John Bates, my Boise State Bronco, in there, and drafted him in the 4th round. He's a beast, man. Don't sleep on this Washington football team's roster.
First of all, shout out to a Carvinator in here, Johnson Targaryen, Will Defoe in here, Chance Foster. Paul Notice has a pretty funny one. He says, and Dominic in here as well. He says, I hope Washington gets Aaron Rodgers and throws away their future for a QB that will choke the playoffs away. Kind of funny. I mean, he has choked the past couple of years.
Yeah, but if you guys want to win in the regular season against the Washington football team, I suggest Aaron Rodgers is not the guy to we
still sweep them, to be honest. But I see the chat asking other questions. I'm going to ask you all to save it, or you could continue asking it, because let's get back to the first round in the draft. Now, KADARIUS Toney specifically. Both of us were kind of like, we didn't expect it. It didn't take long for us to be like, yo, I like it. And then the morning after, I'm like, I'm loving it. And then I even tweeted out, I'm like, every time I see something more about KADARIUS, I like fall in love with the player more and more.
Right. And think of it like this, guys. For anybody that's iffy about, I don't know if there's anybody still iffy about the pick, but think of it like this. You guys just hated Jason Garrett's offense. Drafting a guy like KADARIUS Toney, you know he does not fit a Jason Garrett's offense. That means it's forcing Jason Garrett to expand his offense, to be more creative. And you think KADARIUS Toney is going to be running curls all day? Is that what you guys really think? And on top of that, when Jason Garrett all season he was trying to find a guy to run end arounds with, that's KADARIUS Toney's bread and freaking butter. Is those end arounds and those sweeps. In fact, when I was doing my film on him, I said my favorite 2 plays from KADARIUS Toney is the whip route that he does, which is absolutely insane. I never saw a receiver do a whip route like that, and it works so perfectly. A whip route and an end around. That is his 2 bread and butter plays. When he gets that ball in his hands and makes that initial cut, right, like to go from one of the sidelines to be running towards the sideline, then making that like 90-degree angle almost cut to go upfield is absolutely insane. It's so nasty, man. And you guys think about it like this: he's not even where he wants to be at receiver yet. He's still new to the position. Last year was his only productive season in Florida. Not as a bad thing. It's just that he was never able to get reps because he was still learning the position.
Mm-hmm.
His first year actually being a starter in an offense with the best offensive weapon to come out in forever in Kyle Pitts, he was still a huge part of the offense. That tells you something. That tells you something that Kadarius Toney is the real deal. If you have Kyle Pitts also on that roster and Kadarius Toney has like 50% share of the freaking offense. So that tells you a lot. Kadarius Toney is not even where anyone wants him to be yet, even himself at receiver. The guy's an absolute monster. He's not even at his full potential yet. So anybody that had a second round grade on him,
he's being
it's
called
fair.
the human joystick, and like you said, he's only played wide receiver for like a year.
Right. He was trying to. Guys, he's a former quarterback. This guy used to play.
He's a former QB and a former RB.
Yes. So and listen, the guy.
PJ with another good one. Kyle Trask was inconsistent at QB at times as well.
He was inconsistent, but I'll tell you what, I learned to appreciate Kyle Trask though. He put some balls on the money.
I'll tell you what, Kyle Trask is the official Tom Brady replacement. So
he's good, man. I really think he's gonna work out with the Bucs. I talked to my friend though. He's a Florida fan and a Bucs fan, and he likes Kyle Trask. He just doesn't think he'll be a great NFL QB. And then he's like, "Damn, now we're stuck with him." Now I'm stuck. I couldn't escape him from Florida straight to the Bucs.
Shout out to Paola in here as usual. We got.
Oh, hey, I'm here, guys.
we got PJ in here. It's not the real EDP, but we got EDP in here.
In the building.
But I mean, KB basically said everything that I kind of thought on Kadarius. I love him so much because of the speed, the agility, the shiftiness, just the body control he brings. He's that guy that's gonna truly shift and I mean expand the field for us. Like John Ross, Darius Slayton, they have speed. Kadarius Toney has speed as well. I mean, it could be argued he's just as fast, probably faster than Darius Slayton, who's currently our fastest receiver. I want to say. I know John Ross.
Yes,
I know John Ross has like the 4.2, but we're talking game speed right now. Yeah. And it's like Darius Slayton, I think, is faster game speed wise than Ross, and then Toney might even be faster.
I think Toney's the fastest guy on our team.
He might be, right? And then, like you said, it's like all the plays, like you see the amount of end arounds, the amount of sweeps, the amount of like receptions where it's like short receptions or even in the backfield, and he's making everybody miss and taking it to the house and whatnot.
His center of gravity is unreal.
Reminds me of Saquon a little bit.
Yeah, and get this, he's not even that short. He looks like it because he gets so low when he makes those like cuts and bends his knees to change direction, like just like a running back would. By the way. Mm-hmm. This guy is 6', 194. He's taller than Odell Beckham. Like Odell Beckham was a decently sized receiver, but I look at Kadarius Toney, I'm thinking Tyreek Hill. Like Tyreek Hill is like 5'9", 5'10", and that's being generous. You know, like Tyreek Hill is tiny. You know, the receivers that you compare Kadarius Toney to are pretty small, but he's not extremely small. 6 foot is like normal, right? As an NFL receiver,
he's our second tallest receiver.
So small. Yeah, he's a second tallest receiver.
We got Kenny Galladay, who's 6'4", and then
Darius, he's third tallest then.
Darius is 6'2", right?
He's 6'2", yeah.
Okay, I keep forgetting Darius actually has good height on him.
Right? Darius Slayton looks smaller, but
yeah, just like Kadarius. And the rant, that's what I'm saying. The Giants basically have two Saquons on the offense. It's funny you mention that because, like KB was saying, the way he handles his center of gravity is kind of like a running back. So he also said that night when we drafted him that Kadarius reminds him of Alvin Kamara, and then lo and behold, in the first interview with the Giants, Kadarius said, I kind of modeled my game after Alvin Kamara as well.
I love that. I love that because when I was doing film on Kadarius Toney, all I thought about when he had the ball in his hands, of course, not when he's doing routes and stuff like that, but when he had the ball in his hands and he was making plays, getting shifty and changing directions, I thought Alvin Kamara. I watched a lot of Alvin Kamara last year, not on film, but just watched him in game because I had him on fantasy on a lot of my leagues. And just watching Alvin Kamara get like 50 points for me, of course I was invested in watching Alvin Kamara. So I saw the correlation there. But man, if we can get ourselves our own Alvin Kamara or our own Tyreek Hill,
and he's playing wide receiver, and like you said, the reason people say his route running is unrefined is because he's only been playing wide receiver for like a year. Like imagine how even better he's gonna get when that route running is refined. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's I know a lot of people have like a second round grade on him, and it's fair if you want to say that, but you got to think about his potential. That's what he was really drafted on is how. Listen, Joe Judge, our head coach, is a former wide receivers coach. Tyke Tolbert is one of the best wide receivers coach
I love Tyke.
in
Tyke
the
Tolbert is
league.
underrated, man.
Yes, in the league. So I completely trust them with Kadarius Toney's skill set to help him become a better wide receiver.
Shout out to everybody
Completely
tuning in.
trust
You
him.
know what I'm saying? I see Vized popped in, sports influencer Matt popping in. I think I got about football talk with Benny just popped in here. What up, man? Speaking of wide receivers coach and wide receivers and how you trust them, like I want to say right after the draft ended, that is day 3, the
Yeah.
Jags and Urban Meyer came out and said, "Oh man, there was one guy we really wanted, one guy we loved, Kadarius Toney." And then today, the Packers came out and said, "Oh man, there was one guy we
Yes,
really liked. It was Kadarius Toney."
I
And
love that.
it's like all of a
Love that.
sudden, all these teams are coming out and said they want to take him, and I'm just like, where's everybody that was like he's a reach at? Where's everybody that
Yeah,
was like he was a good
that's
player at?
that is why I love that because it's proving to everybody that he was not a reach and he would not last to 42. I mean, even if he was a reach and he was supposed to go around 29 like Green Bay was supposed to take him, that means he's not even lasting into the second round. And so the Giants wanted to they already traded down once. They might as well just go get their guy. And their guy was Kadarius Toney. They said that when they were looking at the situations, who was their best guy? It was Kadarius Toney. Now, if you ask me, I hate to be the Debbie Downer here and the high spirits. You know, everybody's got the high spirit for Kadarius Toney. If you still ask me, I'm probably taking Rashad Bateman. If you, I'm probably still taking Rashad Bateman. If you ask me, that's just me. But I
I'll say
love
this.
Kadarius
I
Toney.
mean, I was pretty transparent with it. Tony was my 5th best wide receiver in the draft in my own personal rankings. I had Bateman ahead of him. While I think Bateman is a better receiver, I think 100% Tony just fits this offense way better than Bateman does.
Yeah, Tony
And
does. Tony does.
he'll do more for us because of his versatility.
Right, especially if he fits the personnel around him. Like Rashad Bateman, is another outside receiver, and then I don't know how it worked for him. So yeah, you're right. So
And then somebody else said it in the comment as well. I completely I forgot who it was. I love it, and I'm gonna echo it because it's something I've said when we got Tony as well. He's the perfect complement to Galladay if they put him on the outside. Even if they put him on the inside and they keep Shep on the outside, he's still the perfect complement to both of them. You have your number one big body, physical, contested catch wide receiver that's honestly kind of a proven guy. You got your number 2 in the route running expertise of Sterling Shepard, and now you got this agile, just extremely fast, shifty guy that's gonna make you miss and take your socks off when he jukes you. It's like it's crazy. And I remember somebody said we had 2 Saquons on the team. Another tweet I made was, if you're playing Saquon and Kadarius Toney on the Giants, leave your boots off the field because they're gonna come off when they juke you anyway, bro. Leave your cleats off the field. They're gonna come out as soon as you get in front of them, man.
I like that, man.
Oh,
Yeah, just
somebody's
imagine
saying
having.
Daniel Jones
Yeah.
in the chat because there's an account named Daniel Jones in here. What up,
Oh,
Danny?
God.
He says I'm gonna
Well,
be the best QB next season, man. I hope so.
ooh, let's go, Danny, let's go.
Listen, man, I'm a supporter of y'all. Me and KB were called Daniel Jones stands during the season, so you
Oh
got it,
yeah,
bro.
yep. But yeah, I'm listen, man. I'm excited for what Kadarius Toney has to bring. Just imagining him and Saquon on the field at the same time. Just imagine some like double reverse crap with Saquon and Kadarius Toney, and then defenses have to wonder whether they should prioritize covering Kadarius on this side or Saquon on that side. It's like you could do so much with those two on the field.
And then Duran, well, I'm gonna get to Duran's question, but CG, I agree with this. He said Tony has a skill set like Percy Harvin, but he's tougher and more durable. I agree with that. I actually think a pretty good comp for him is Percy Harvin, and we're gonna get to Aaron Robinson later. I think, you know, I think a good comp for Robinson will be Richard Sherman as well, just in terms of the play style that they got. And obviously, I'm not saying he's gonna do that, but we got a young Percy Harvin and Richard Sherman on the team. Durant says, with all that being said, how effective does Daniel Jones need to be for the Giants to reach their potential?
How effective is who has to be Daniel
DG,
Jones?
yeah.
Um, I want to say not that effective, but I do want to say at the same time because if Daniel Jones has another lackluster year, I don't think the Giants will do too much. I know a lot of people are saying you just need to be an average quarterback in here. I get that, but you don't really know that because last year I don't think any quarterback would have performed well under that Jason Garrett's offense and nobody getting open. And I think Daniel Jones has to carry the weight a little bit. He's gonna have to throw receivers open a lot. And if Jason Garrett is still not picking it up, he's gonna have to do more. So I think it's not the answer you guys want to hear, but I think Daniel Jones needs to step it up this year and actually be a good quarterback. I know a lot of people want to have the easiest ride for DJ. He doesn't need to be good. Just let the offense take him. No, I think he's going to have to make some plays himself.
Well, Durant said for the Giants offense to reach, or the Giants to reach their potential, right? So obviously offensive side, what DJ needs to do, and it's something he did improve upon in the second half of the season. He needs to improve even more on his pocket awareness, his pocket presence. He needs to know when to get the ball out. And, and we've said this tons of times, as the season went on, you see that he got more comfortable in the pocket. You see that he got more comfortable with calling plays. You know what I'm saying? You see that he got just more comfortable with making decisions and actually going through all of his reads, which at the beginning of the season, he was a one-read quarterback for some, you know what I'm saying, because he was that scared of the defenses coming at him. He's going to need to continue to improve upon all that, but also he's going to need to start to do something that he has yet to do, and that's kind of elevate his players a little bit. I'm not saying a lot, but he's going to need to – there's going to be points during the season where he's going to have to throw a couple of receivers open or just help the team out in a way like closing out at end of the game drive, which he had multiple chances last year, but he couldn't do it. Like, those are the things he's going to need to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's got to step it up this year. He can't have another average year this year, guys. We're getting the pieces around him. I know a lot of people want to try to have him take kind of the backseat and take like a game manager type role here. Now, this is make or break, man. He has to step it up.
Mm-hmm. And then Lestat says, do you think there's a chance that the Washington football team defense will drop off this year? I like this question because I've asked something similar with the Giants defense, and I think they're kind of paralleling each other a little bit. Shout out to Bobby Woodruff. I'm guessing he renewed his membership. Thank you for renewing it. As you see Daniel Jones waving to y'all there. But I was going to say, I kind of asked something similar with the Giants defense because we're kind of in similar positions. Both of them really good last year. Both of them added a lot of talent through free agency and the draft this year. What are the chances, if any, that they might decline a little bit?
Washington, I don't really know just because I'm not paying attention to them constantly. They have a really good roster, man, and they got better this year. So, as far as on paper, so I mean, like I said, you guys are not gonna like this answer, but I don't think they get too much worse. And if not, they may get a little better this year. As far as the Giants go, there's no reason for us to do worse either. I mean, I think we got a lot better on defense as well. I mean, bringing in 2 new pass rushers in the draft, another pass rusher in free agency.
And when you finish there, you could transition directly into the AZEEZ pick since we kind of finished up with.
Oh yeah, for sure. And picking two pass rushers in the draft, picking one up in free agency, picking up 3 corners between the draft.
Don't forget, we picked up 2
agency.
in free agency. We picked up that linebacker from Washington as well.
Oh yeah, Ryan Anderson. I don't think he's gonna make the roster, but we picked up a lot of talent, a lot of competition, a lot of guys to fit the depth and rotation. I think we got a lot better as well. We had a little bit of a hole at the inside linebacker position. Now we have should be a healthy rotation between Tay Crowder and Reggie Ragland. So I think we got a lot better. We were able to maintain a lot of pieces. We did lose some. We lost Dalvin Tomlinson. That's pretty much the biggest piece that we really lost on defense. We were able to keep guys like Logan Ryan in there. I don't know. We were able to keep Leonard Williams, of course. So, for the most part, we stood intact and we gained more talent. So we should get a lot better this year on defense. And so transitioning to the AZEEZ Ojulari pick now. I love this pick so much. The fact that we were able to go down from 42 to 50 and still get first-round talent that fits a need and fits BPA is absolutely insane. It would have been a great pick at 42, and now it's an even greater pick.
It would have been
50.
A great pick at 20. That's what I wanted at 20. Because once again,
exactly.
I admit, Tony wasn't on my mind. Like, y'all know how much I love the Z's going into the draft process. I was like, he was my favorite pass rusher in the draft because he fit the Giants the best. In fact, he's one of like 2 or 3 players in my opinion that legitimately fit the Giants, like as an outside linebacker doing what we need them to do. That speed rusher that with agility that actually gets to the quarterback consistently and can drop into coverage occasionally. He has the athleticism to do that. He was like one of 2 or 3 dudes in my opinion that could have done it. It would have been a great pick at 20. At 42, we got him at 50.
Right, and you talk about a whole 30 picks in between that we were able to keep going, and pick up AZEEZ Ojulari. Now, looking more into Azeez Ojulari, I I don't want this to sound bad, but I could understand why he was taken in the second round. Like as just a clear-cut fan of watching football and watching film, I could understand how he did slip into the second round. I probably would have still taken him in the first, but watching him on film, I'm seeing a lot of times where he just disappears. Just disappear. Where's Azeez Ojulari? He's got all the physical tools, man. This guy has violent hands. He's got a high motor. He's always trying to get to the quarterback. But sometimes he just fades, man. Sometimes he just disappears. And sometimes you would think that he doesn't know how to play pass rusher. I'm like, dude, where's your bend? Why do you look so stiff? Bend your hips. Get your hips open, and start use your hands more. Sometimes he just gets caught up and doesn't want to do anything. But then you see other plays where he's just freaking just bending all the way down, like he's straight up turning and getting a speed rush going. He's not even known for being a speed rusher, but sometimes he completely beats the tackles off the edge. Like if we got that Azeez Ojulari in the whole, like in all his film, he's a clear-cut first-round pick. But sometimes he got a little inconsistent. Sometimes he would completely disappear.
Not to mention, another reason he definitely dropped was because edge rushers in general dropped. The first one,
Right,
Jalen Phillips didn't go until 18.
Right, and so my biggest take on this pick, if this was, and I'm surprised he wasn't taken in the second. He was taken in the second round too, because there's such a I guess high demand for edge rushers and not enough talent. I would have thought the greatest ones, the best ones would be taken off the board, because if this was, I'll tell you right now, guys, if this was a stacked edge rush class, I think Azeez Ojulari is, like, from the beginning of the draft process, he's a second round pick. But
yeah, no, I agree with you there. Yeah, because like we've said multiple times, this draft class is weak at edge rusher. That's just a fact. Is weak.
That like Greg Rousseau would be a second, third round guy as a project defensive end, and then with not a lot of guys to choose besides Jalen Phillips, and he has his own issue with concussions and stuff like that. There's a reason why these guys, were graded so high in this draft as opposed to probably if they were in other ones. So, what's going on, Jay Berman? He says, "Hey, Kush and KB, so sorry I'm late." No problem, man.
Yeah. And then CG saying Azeez is a baby at 20 years old, so the sky is the limit.
Exactly. It's projection over production. That's what I
believe he could be something great for us. I mean,
it frustrates me.
Another reason I like him so much, I've already talked a lot about the coaching side of it, how we have Kevin Sherr, the guy who recruited him to Georgia in the first place, and then Jeremy Pruitt, who worked heavily with Kevin Sherr at Tennessee. Like that's why I said Lorenzo Carr is going to be good. But speaking of Lorenzo Carr, that's why I think having Azeez here is going to be great. Because if Lorenzo can, and I think he will, be the second starting outside linebacker right next to Azeez, they complement each other really well. Like Lorenzo he's now starting to become a more consistent pass rusher, but as an outside linebacker, he's like a great run stuffer, an absolute superb run stuffer. Azeez needs to work on his run stuffing. It's almost kind of really bad, but he's a consistent edge rusher. So it's like they complement each other, and they both can improve on what they're not that good at.
Right, and it's funny because Lorenzo Carter is smaller, and he stops to run a lot better. Azeez Ojulari is bigger, and it seems like Azeez, I have it here in my notes, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Azeez lacks elite strength and elite speed. Like, he has a mixture of both, but it's like he doesn't have any of which that are elite. I would like to see him get a lot stronger because, like I said, sometimes he just completely gets kicked out of a play. But then there are some plays where he completely like blows somebody away or bull rushes somebody, knocks into the floor. So, I like Azeez, and he has all the talent in the world. That's why I love him so much. It just frustrates me how he wasn't able to portray that in all of his film. And so I hope that they're able to get it out of him, and I think they can. And so because they were working with average talent there, and they're still getting a pass rush last year. So
it was a little bit by committee, but Leonard Williams helps a lot. But as well, hello Brooklyn. No, I'm not ignoring you. What up?
Never.
I want to ask this because this goes back to what I was saying with the chances of the Giants defense regressing. Edward says, do you think that Bradbury, and I'm pretty sure somebody else asked this before as well, Will Defoe mentioned it as well, I think. Do you think Bradbury regresses or underplays a bit this year due to high expectations after last year? Here's my answer. I don't think he regresses because of expectations. If he does regress, it's because of what I said in my Day 3 reaction video, where it looks like we're not going to play a heavy zone defense this year. which a lot of people are under the misconception that because Patrick Graham loves man press coverage type of defense, that the Giants ran that last year. That's false information. We ran mainly zone all last year, and Bradbury is an elite zone corner, which is why he had an elite performance in 2020. But the defense as a whole, the reason we were running zone in the first place is because the talent and the players there didn't match what Patrick Graham wanted to run. That's why I call him the mad genius. He, out of necessity, he created this new kind of scheme for himself, which absolutely worked out, beautifully. With the way the draft is going and the corner that we signed and whatnot, it's looking like he's trying to shift back into that man press, or at the very least incorporate it a lot more. Because of that, I think Bradbury's stats and impact may decrease a little bit, but he's still an elite zone corner. Like he's not gonna have the year he had last year, in my opinion, right? Because he's not gonna be playing in that consistently, a zone type of defense. Now I could be completely wrong, and he still has an elite year because of how much the pass rush has improved. You know what I'm saying? That alone is going to help him out a lot. Just, the quarterback's being pressured more. But what do you think?
I think it's not really him that's going to regress. I think it's the perception of him is going to regress. Like everybody's going to expect him to be this top tier corner every single year, and he has to get 3 or more picks every single year and just 16 to 17 plus passes defense. Like he's not going to have a year like that all the time, guys. So temper your expectations a little bit, and he's still going to be a great corner. I think he can adjust to playing some man. He has the skill. Listen, he has fluid hips. He's got the speed. He's got the wingspan. He has what it takes. And, we've seen him play a little bit of man last year. And on top of that, he breaks on routes so well. Even when he was playing in zone coverage, he breaks on routes so well. I completely trust him in man coverage. Now, I'm not going to say for sure he's going to do great in man because we haven't seen too much of him in man. He's strictly a zone corner. But, if you're a great player at what you do, you're probably going to be a great player.
That's what I'm betting on.
If you're an athlete, you're going to adjust. You're going to adapt. You're going to adjust. And so, it seems like we are going to be sticking to like a man defense because Adori's a man corner. And
both
Aaron
the guys
Robinson,
we drafted were man corners.
Aaron Robinson is a man corner, and Rodarius Williams is a man corner. So, and not only that, they're press man corners. Like these guys get on the line.
What Graham ran in Miami, which is like, but what I'm kind of confused on is that Miami defense wasn't great. The Giants defense was great, and it was something different. So I'm not sure why he wants to switch roster.
Well, he probably didn't have the right guys in Miami. He probably made the mistake in trying to force a scheme.
Why not stick with something that worked so well last year?
Here's the thing, though. Watching on film, I don't think the zone works for not for the defensive backs. I think it works fine. It's the linebackers. The linebackers cannot do zone. Like even Blake. Like, I love Blake. You love Blake. He's your guy. They struggled in zone, man. Watching these guys play zone, they look so confused, and the middle of the field was always wide open because our safeties were always doing other stuff. Like, that's part of Patrick Graham's scheme. We just got 2 safeties sitting there waiting for something to happen. He forces his safeties up. He gets pressure. He'll send Jabril Peppers on a blitz. He'll put Logan Ryan in the slot and play a little bit of man in the slot. Like he has his safeties doing so much other things, and then he's depending on his linebackers to go ahead and be those cover guys, and they're just not consistent. Like I'm not depending on Reggie Ragland to take Crowder.
And I was about to say that's a really good point because we didn't get a linebacker in the draft, which a lot of people, including myself, expected a linebacker. So that's a good point. That could be why.
Now, and the fact that we got so much defensive backs on, like I didn't even expect this. I was completely,
bro. We're stacked at defensive backs.
We're stacked. Right, I didn't listen. I would have been completely okay if the Giants had even draft a corner this year. Seriously, I would have been completely okay if we did that because our 4th corner on the roster right now is Isaac Yiadom, who was our number 2 last year. Okay,
no, he's not the 4th one now, bro. I think Robinson is ahead of him.
No. I'm saying before we went into the draft, Isaac Yiadom was our 4th corner on that we had. Now, of course, could we use some depth? Absolutely. In the 3rd round, though, so we're getting guys all over the place. So what that tells me there is that the Giants may not even be doing 2 inside linebacker sets all that often, like base 3-4 sets all that often. They're probably going to be running some big nickel, big dime sets, or just regular dime and regular nickel sets to try to get these defensive backs worked in rather than the linebackers. They might be always going to have like our base packages might be more defensive backs.
Hmm.
That's what it probably is. Because seriously, I don't know how we're going to use all these guys if we're not playing nickel and dime sets constantly and big nickel and big dime sets constantly. Because Jesus, we don't have enough linebackers and we have too much defensive back. So it only makes sense that we're probably going to be running a lot of defensive back packages.
Hmm. I can see where you're coming from. I was under the impression we're probably just gonna run a mixture, which it's still we're gonna see a lot of different things because that's just what Graham does. And now we have the opportunity to see a lot of different things from the offense. But continuing with the defense here, the third pick, Aaron Robinson, corner, one of the better corners in the entire draft that slipped to the third round.
Yeah. My honest viewpoint on Aaron Robinson, I like this guy. I think he could have been a second round pick. I think when I did my video today, editing in the editing process now. What Aaron Robinson is everything Darnay Holmes is not. Well, and that's a good thing and a bad thing because
Darnay is good at what he's good at. Like he's great at what he's good at.
And like they're like a perfect like yin and yang. So Darnay Holmes is my ideal cornerback, in my opinion. He's a guy that covers great instincts, great makeup speed, can break on routes, can play the mixture of man and zone. I mean, he does like a lot of things so well, and I think he was a great pick in the fourth round for us. And then Aaron Robinson is not a guy that has great instincts, doesn't have very good read and react skills, has a lot of speed, has a lot of acceleration, and throws himself around like a safety. Great tackler, great one-on-one tackler. But he doesn't have the read and react skill. He doesn't have all that awareness. He doesn't have the zone. And he gets so mixed up in zone. Oh my God. I was like, this guy's supposed to replace Darnay Holmes? No. So I in my honest opinion, I like Aaron Robinson. He's not my ideal corner, especially in the slot. He's not a guy that really does well in zone. He's strictly a man corner. But even so, especially on those drag routes, he allows way too much receptions than I would like. He makes up for it though. Like after the guy catches the ball, I mean, he makes the tackle.
He has great makeup speed.
Yeah, he has great makeup, but that's what I have it in my notes there. That's what he relies on. He relies on his athleticism rather than his wits, rather than his read and react ability. And I would love to see them coach him up and learn what to react to and know who your guy is in zone and where you're at. Because in those crossing patterns, I seen him run into his own teammates. I seen him run after the same guy that his teammates running after. Like I seen a bunch of that. And, you're going to find guys like that in the third round that obviously need some work. But Aaron Robinson, to me, can't have that ability. I think he'll be a great dime corner for us. He's not going to win the job over Darnay. I remember I said in the draft that he may win it over Darnay, that I may like him over Darnay. No, I don't. Watching Darnay last year, especially in the Giants rookie year, I loved him. I think Darnay's winning that job at nickel, and Aaron's going to win the job at dime.
Okay. So, I mean, so are you saying we're going to be running like 4 cornerbacks out there then?
No, that's not. I mean, whenever we do run 4 cornerbacks, he's going to be the dime guy.
Okay.
I mean,
and like you were saying earlier, we could, just with the amount of guys we have.
Yeah. I mean, when there's 4 wide receivers on the field, you're going to see dime. So, I mean, and that happens a lot.
The crazy thing is, I think even if we won't see 4 wide receivers, we're just going to see like four corners out there just because.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. If they feel like their best 11 just so happens to be more defensive backs and linebackers, they may do that. And listen, Aaron Robinson, honestly, if he was bigger, I would say the guy should go to safety, like a box safety.
We also already have way too many safeties.
I know, but I'm saying like his best career path for Aaron Robinson is a box safety. Because you look at like Dante Savage, Buda Baker, Tyrann Mathieu. These guys are smaller, but they play in the box a lot as a safety, and they're hard hitters. Aaron Robinson's a hard hitter.
Speaking
He's a
of
very
safeties,
good tackler.
Should Julian Love just permanently move to safety now, or do we keep him at defensive back?
Julian Love is such a wild card, dude. It's like we don't even know where to put this dude. I forget about Julian Love. Like I was thinking about Isaac Yadon. He's our 4th corner. What if Julian Love's our 4th corner? Julian Love
might low key be the 4th corner if he continues to play corner over Yadon.
So that even makes like I graded the Aaron Robinson pick a B, and honestly, it could go back. It could go down to a B minus. I like him as a player. I just don't know if we really need him over like we needed an interior offensive lineman. Now, I am very happy.
And by the way, Carbonator. I see your question on the line, and we'll get to it right after this.
Oh yeah, what up, Carbonator? Um, I do like Aaron Robinson as a player. I just don't know if it was worth grabbing Aaron Robinson when we have so much depth
This
at
this might
defensive
be
back.
petty of me. I think it was worth it just because we stole somebody that both the Cowboys and Eagles wanted.
Right, right. And I do like that. I do like that, and we'll find a place
Bro, look,
for
look at
him.
it. Look at it this way. We prevented them from getting a potential guy that might have been their number one corner or number two corner.
Right, right. So
And you know what I'm saying? With this
yeah,
wide receiving core, I asked it as a joke a couple of times, but low key, I kind of believe it. Like, who's guarding all three of these guys, right? Like, which cornerback core is guarding all three of these guys?
right. Agreed.
Uh, Edwards, stop the cap, bro. He said, don't forget Sam Buell.
Sam Bill's out of here. Thank God. Thank God. What a waste of a supplemental pick.
Tommy G says they might try to make Robinson an elite Julian Love role, who we were just talking about.
Yeah, listen, I would say, guys, temporary, like, even though he was a third round, he was drafted higher than Darnay Holmes. I'd say Darnay Holmes is better, guys. That's my opinion. He's not my ideal corner. I love a corner that can tackle. Trust me, Marlon Humphrey is one of my favorite corners I've ever scouted in my entire life. I love Marlon Humphrey. He's a guy that is a willing tackler, man-to-man corner. Love him, but Aaron Robinson, to me, I like how his best plays are highlight. His best highlights are tackles. Like for my defensive backs, I want your best play to be an interception. I want your best play to be pass the defense, things like that. He has one career interception. Now that doesn't all mean all that much to me, but it does. It is a small factor. He's not a ball hawk, not good at tracking the ball. So I don't have too much expectation for Aaron Robinson. I think right off the bat he'll be our fourth, fifth corner.
And
He's gonna make the roster.
And
But
to get to Giant Carbonator's question, he says, do you guys think any of the undrafted free agent linemen can make the roster? I'm going to give my answer first. And as of right now, of the 5th of May, 2021, nah. Why?
nah,
Because, I mean, like, we signed basically two guards, right? Like, that's what they are, two undrafted free agent guards. We still have a guard from last year in Kyle Murphy that the Giants retained this
I
year,
like
which
Kyle
means they
Murphy.
like him a lot, probably even like him more than the guys they signed
That was a
this
guy
year.
at Mississippi State, no?
I can't remember where he's from. But the fact that they retained him shows a lot of interest. Kyle Murphy could probably beat out those guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, I personally don't like Zach Fulton that much, the guard that we got from the
Right,
Texans.
right.
Zach Fulton is probably better than them right now. And so is Harrison, the center from the Jets that a lot of people forgot we signed, who I think is our backup center as of right now. And going into the season, he'll be our backup center. So, like, those two guys right there, I think, beat out the two undrafted guys we signed. But what about you, KB?
I'll be honest with you. I did not do too much work into them yet. I'm still, because I just finished my video on the guys we did draft. So I'm going to be doing my in-depth, research and stuff like that on all the undrafted free agents in the next coming days. But one thing I will tell you is, guys, do not fall into the trap that I was talking about before the draft. How when everybody was talking about, no, let's push back interior offensive line. We could always find one. We could always find one. And then we wind up hanging all of our hopes. Our Shane Lemieux replacement, the guy to be the savior, is an undrafted free agent.
Like, no,
It's
let's be
not,
realistic.
guys.
There's a
Yeah,
reason the Giants didn't take a lineman after the third round, which is why I got over it so quickly. I don't
right,
necessarily agree
right.
with it, but I got over it. Realistically speaking, anybody they took after the third round would be taking a lineman just to take a lineman. And you never want to take a player just to take a player. Because I don't like Shane Lemieux and pass blocking that much. He's a great run blocker. I like him as a player a lot. Has to improve in his pass blocking. But a lineman taken in the fourth and later was not going to be Shane Lemieux for the job. It would have to be a higher graded dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, do not hang your hat on these because I knew we were gonna start talking about this. I knew we were gonna start talking about this. I knew that people were gonna bring up. Look, do you guys see that undrafted free agent lineman? He might be ashamed. No, we were talking. This is the reason why I wanted a high prospect to draft in the draft, the first or second round, get ourselves an interior lineman, so we would actually have some competition for Shane Lemieux. Guys, I don't want to hear about these undrafted free. Don't talk to me about these undrafted free agents because I told you guys we should have drafted one in the first or second round. Now, obviously, that's not my decision. That's not you guys' decision. It's Dave Gettleman's decision. But listen, I don't want to hear about that no more because you guys were trying to push back interior offensive linemen, push it back, push it back, push it back. Because, oh, yeah, by the way, when we were doing our streams, in the comments, I was seeing everybody calling us a baby, talking about you can keep your fat guys. You know, like don't talk to me about fat guys. Like when we dropped Ellerson Smith, when we dropped Aaron Robinson, everybody said, keep your fat guys. We don't want your fat guys. Stop talking to me about, stop crying about fat guys, you know, because they're talking about offensive linemen. And now look what happened. Those same guys are coming to us talking about, what do you think about the undrafted free agent interior offensive lineman?
Well, I don't think with Carnovator specifically said that.
Oh, no, I don't know. Well, sorry, Carnovator. I didn't mean to.
Just kind of like implicitly called him out for no reason.
Oh, no, Carnovator. No, not specifically Carnovator. Not specifically Carnovator. But I'm seeing it all over on Twitter. That's what I meant. Not specifically Carnovator.
But once I agree with everything.
All over Twitter.
I agree with everything you're saying, but like I just also agree with the decision of just don't take one if you're gonna take one for the sake of taking.
Oh
one.
yeah.
I'm not giving up those first 2 picks for anything. We got 2 first-round players. I'm not giving them up for anything. So then it gets to the 3rd round where, according to both Gelman and Judge, the guys they were looking at, they were looking at 2 offensive linemen, and both of them went before. They weren't comfortable with anybody else, so that's why I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to GJ Spoon for the $5 super chat. It's popped up here before I actually saw it pop up on YouTube.
What's up, dude?
He says, what's y'all beef with Aaron Rodgers? Why y'all don't want somebody elite coming to the Giants?
This is the same thing that happened with Deshaun Watson.
Before KB starts, I'm going to say this. Just thinking that we add an elite player doesn't necessarily mean we're going to win the Super Bowl. Who a lot of people say, if Aaron Rodgers comes here, we win the Super Bowl. There's a lot of things that go into it. I don't think he fits with Joe Judge at all. I personally, my beef with him is that he's a terrible teammate, but he's a great player. There you go. But I don't think he fits with Judge at all, which is why I don't want him here. If you can't mesh with Joe Judge, you can't be on the team, man.
Listen, man, we're slowly but surely turning into the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, dude. And we're gonna get everybody. We're gonna get everybody.
What's wrong with you, bro? This man KB is overreacting, guys. I'm gonna put that out there.
Especially the quarterback position.
Overreacting.
I'm tired of this. It's DJ or die, bro. This season, it's DJ or die. You gotta stick to your quarterback. What are you gonna do with Daniel Jones? What are you gonna do with it? You're gonna bring in Aaron Rodgers. What are you gonna do with Daniel Jones? Oh, well, we'll just keep Daniel Jones for when Aaron Rodgers retires. You can't do that.
Well, this is not Madden. We probably put DJ in the trade. Who knows? Even though they got Jordan Love.
It's not like, and then the same thing was happening like on First Take, getting Trey Lance and keeping Daniel Jones. Like this is crazy, man. This is crazy. All right, listen, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, bro. He's a bad man. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's 37 years old. Dave Gettleman even said it. I'm not going to go ahead and go get a 37 years old guy.
A-Rod is still amazing, but I low-key agree with somebody said earlier. I think I've even said it on streams when we were commentating playoff games. He chokes in these NFC Championship games. The past 2, his teams have been good. He choked both of them.
Yeah. I don't have any beef with Aaron Rodgers. It's that, like the same thing with the Deshaun Watson thing. It's all different factors. You can't just think about how he's going to perform on the field. You have to think about everything else that comes with it. First of all, where are you going to get cap space for Aaron Rodgers? Where the hell are you going to – I mean, I don't know how much quarters you have in your couch, but it's not going to be enough for Aaron Rodgers, all right? And on top of that, he's 37 years old. So you're talking about what? Another 3 years with Aaron Rodgers. Then you got to find another quarterback.
That's if he doesn't get injured again.
Right, and great point. He gets injured all the time. He broke his collarbone twice, I believe. So that's not something that you want to hang your hat on. And listen, Aaron Rodgers, I hate bringing this up when people talk about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm going to be that guy. He has 1 ring. You think if he was the game changer, the be-all, end-all, he would have more rings, be in more Super Bowls? This guy was only in 1 Super Bowl. Won that Super Bowl. And I hate to be the ring guy because I'm never the ring guy. But everybody's just thinking that automatically you plug in Deshaun Watson, you plug in Aaron Rodgers, that we're automatically going to the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson, his team was 4-12 this year. Granted, their team was garbage. But Deshaun Watson had a career year. The stats look great. He's all over NFL, breaking records, highlight reels. His team was 4-12. Okay? So I love these guys. I love Deshaun Watson. Love Aaron Rodgers. it's not the best decision for the New York Giants organization.
And
You see what you
Daniel
have in DJ.
Jones, I think Dominic said this, is currently the leader of the team. We've seen the leadership role that he took
Right.
last offseason. He's doing it again this offseason, and I feel like the players are actually buying in. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Galladay
Hmm.
was going to the Knicks game with him and whatnot. He has become the leader of the team. So, if you replace the leader like that, I'm not sure how the team is going to feel, even if
And,
it's a guy with the talent like Aaron Rodgers.
and think of this mindset here. Step into Dave Gettleman's mind real quick. DJ is taking these guys to Arizona, getting some reps in. They're going out together. They're getting that camaraderie going. DJ and Kenny Galladay at the Knicks game. They're going ahead and just hanging out. What kind of human being would I be to say, listen, I know I like what you guys are doing here. DJ, you're going to the Green Bay, and we're gonna bring in Aaron Rodgers in here. It's his first time going to a new team. You guys got to start all over again, get your confidence going, and yeah, good luck, guys. Like that's come on, man. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any. You're trying to build a culture here, and you're trying to build it the right way. First of all, Aaron Rodgers seems to be a toxic guy in the culture. He seems to be very, very toxic. He has that like entitlement in his head, like everything should. And granted, he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever live, so of course he would have that kind of entitlement. But it didn't work out with him and Mike McCarthy. Now this whole thing with his GM is coming out, and now this guy is catching a fit because he can't make another Super Bowl when they're constantly in contention. I mean, at that point, whose fault is that really? So you know what I'm saying? He's a crybaby. Think about if the Giants go 8-8 this season. Like that would be good for us, or 9-7. That'd be good for us.
Well, it's a 17
Well, it's
game
17.
season, but also
So,
I would not be happy if we go 8-8, bro. So it wouldn't be good for me.
well, listen. I mean, it'd be a step up anyway. I mean, I know I don't know what you guys' expectations are. 11-5, 12-4. I don't think we're gonna get that high.
I think we should be a 10-game team, bro.
Okay, so let's just say 9 games, 10 games, right? You think Aaron Rodgers going to a new team, leaving everything behind, trying to chase a ring, is gonna be happy about that?
Well, it depends what happens in the playoffs. So, like, if we could have a low record still into the playoffs, but if he does his thing and gets us to the championship game, then choke, I mean, like, we'll see.
Right. Listen, it's just, I don't think it's a good idea, guys. I don't think it's a good idea. Don't think so.
With that being said, the Ellerson Smith pick, round 4.
That was a great time talking about Aaron Robinson, not Aaron Rodgers. Oh man,
and you were saying you spoke on it earlier. Just the transformation Ellerson went through from year 1 to like being drafted and whatnot. Why are so many people high on him?
Oh man, first of all, this guy has such a high motor. I mean, such a high motor. This guy gives 100% every play from the first quarter to fourth quarter. He's so underrated strength. You thought I was watching his film at UNI. And this guy's strength was so like when I first turned it on, because I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know who the hell he was. All right, so I turned on the film and I started watching him. I'm like, damn, this guy could knock somebody on their butt, and he looks like he's freaking 230, like Cam Brown's freaking weight. Like they look very similar to each other, except that he's very long too. He's like 6'7" or something like that, right? So he's a big dude. But damn, he was pushing people around, bull rushing them, getting right around them. That has violent hands, long wingspan, has a little bit of bend to him. Well, not really. He needs to work on his bend too. But and this is a guy that doesn't have a great arsenal of moves. Like doesn't have a spin move. Doesn't have has violent hands, but doesn't really have like a like a dip and stuff like that. And he has pretty much just a swim move and just a swipe. That's pretty much it. But he's effective with it. And the fact that he's able to dominate that conference like he did in that FCS conference, like he did against some good, some decent talent. I mean, he was in a league of his own. He should have been playing Division I FBS football. Like that's where he should have been at. And the fact that he was that good at I want to say he was 230, 240. I want to say he was around that. Now he's like 260. This guy looks like Olivier Vernon. This guy got a lot stronger. I can't wait to see what this guy is gonna do, man. I mean, he was his last year in 2019, 14 sacks. Golly, man. How many tackles for loss did he have? Like 20. Like, gee, this guy was all over the field. He tormented and destroyed every quarterback he went against, man. So even Trey Lance,
But the level of
even Trey Lance
competition,
dealing
that's what we're talking about,
right.
right? The level
But
of competition, how does that factor into you, and how does you still say, man, I'm still this excited about him?
because he even went against some Power Five schools. He went against Iowa State and freaking killed them. He went against, I mean, it's not Power Five, but North Dakota State has some good talent. Dylan Raduns at left tackle killed him, and also was messing around with Trey Lance. He got to Trey Lance a couple of times. So listen, this guy is an
Where can
absolute
you see
beast.
him being on the roster? Starter, maybe? Or
I
is that too high?
as much as I want to gush about him, I don't think he's going to start over the dogs. I don't think he's going to start over Carter and AZEEZ Ojulari. I think these guys are going to
But
start.
Zimenez, maybe?
Um, he's going to, yeah, hell yeah,
Zimenez is probably
hell yeah.
gone, as weird as that sounds.
And you know what's crazy? Zimenez, I was really high on Zimenez, third round pick out of Old Dominion. I was really high on him. I'm even higher on Ellerson Smith, even though he's coming from a school with lesser competition. I really like Ellerson Smith as a player. I think he's already better than Zimenez, in my opinion. Like Zimenez just had a hard time getting. Like Zimenez didn't have anything. Like he didn't have elite strength, elite speed, elite hand
And
moves.
it's funny, he didn't have elite strength, but what he was a power rusher.
Right. So I just I don't like Aziz Zimenez, and he may be a guy that could be cut. Okay, you got Odenigbo in there as well. He's
But
gonna be
I
funny
think
for a
they're gonna
spur
have
spot.
Odenigbo at end or tackle though, instead of linebacker.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. But then where would you even put him?
That's what I'm saying, right? It's gonna really be interesting to see how we currently have 91 guys on the team. So one person for sure is getting cut to make the 90-man roster, whenever that is, and then of course it's gonna go down to the 55-man roster, no longer 53 because of the 17th game.
Right.
It's gonna be very interesting to see how the roster gets set up because I want to see where they list certain players because I'm pretty sure there's a cap on
Right.
positions. So
How
I'm
many
gonna want to see who they list where. That's gonna be interesting.
how many undrafted free agents did we sign?
Only 3.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No more.
Yeah,
We're not signing no
you
more.
should check out my undrafted free agent video. I literally said, I
'Cause
think
that's
within
why
the
I was
first 2 minutes, bro, I was like, yeah, this is the first time in like a long time the Giants signed less than 5 players.
Well, because that's why I waited. I would have been had that video out about me because that's there are plenty of subscribers that come to my channel talking about I found you because the undrafted free agents videos. I used to freaking go all out with the freaking research and all that stuff. I was waiting for that, but only 3 of them. That makes my job a lot easier, But we usually sign like 10 to 12. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, damn it, I really don't think. I mean, we got what Raymond Johnson, the lineman out of UCLA, and the lineman out of Florida, right? Brett Heggie,
Mm-hmm.
the UCLA guy, and Raymond Johnson. So I don't think any of these guys gonna make the roster, but we'll see. Maybe a Brett Heggie or that guy. I don't know the guy at UCLA's name. If you know his name,
Jake Burton.
Jake Burton. Maybe he wins a job over like Chad Slade or something like that because Chad Slade has been on this
Is
roster
Chad
for
Slade still
forever.
on the roster?
I don't know, but he's been on it forever. He's been at least since like 2018,
I don't
2017.
think he's still on it. I'll be surprised if he's still on it.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll be a guy like Zach Fulton. Maybe who knows? But maybe they intentionally try to keep one of these guys and try to groom him like they did Nick Gates. Who knows? Who knows? Listen, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I know ultimately at the end of the day I was wrong about Nick Gates. Okay,
And you still need to get that jersey from OGR
I was still
somehow.
right. We still gotta get that jersey. Nick Gates, if you're listening, man, I love you, bro. I love you, man. But listen, guys, Nick Gates was trash when he first got to the Giants. Okay, he was freaking butt. Okay, a guy out of Nebraska. He was a door. I called him the doorman, man. He just let everybody through. But he became a beast. He became an absolute beast. I love Nick Gates and where he became. He went through a couple position switches, but damn, he's looking good at center. So maybe they try to get one of those guys and try to groom him up like they did Nick Gates.
Well, we'll see. And I just want to say really quickly, we always talk about, the undrafted free agent success story in Cruz. It's time we start mentioning Gates as well because he's the more recent one. Like, people forget that he was also one of those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go down as one of the guys to be his biggest doubter, but I don't even I don't even care, man. I'm a Nick Gates guy now, okay, guys? Woo, Nick Gates. Wow.
And then we get to the first 6th-round pick, Gary Brightwell, a running back that I like so much because I'm like, this is what we were looking for in a backup.
Yeah,
I know
talk
Booker
about
is
it.
still the immediate backup. But
Oh yeah,
this man Brightwell to me is built like a bowling ball, bro. Like he's built to just truck dudes over and run them
right.
over. And that's not his only running style. He does power run sometimes. He does just go straight up the middle, right through the tackles, and knock some people over. But he's also a slasher back. He's also pretty agile on his feet. You know what I'm saying? This guy Brightwell, and I guarantee you, he's gonna spend like 90% of his time on special teams. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
okay. I really like the pick.
yeah. And on top of that, I mean, who else do we have at running back right now? I mean,
Booker and Saquon, I think.
yeah, Booker and Saquon. That's it. He's gonna make the team. Yeah, we didn't even get an undrafted running back. Like we don't have anybody else. He's gonna make the team. The Giants, especially, I mean, a lot of NFL teams, but especially the Giants, they at least like to keep 3 or 4 running backs. So, no doubt in my mind that he's gonna make the roster. And can't wait to see what he does in preseason because Saquon ain't gonna play the preseason. We're gonna see a lot of Booker and a lot of Brightwell. So
He better not play the preseason. I don't want to see this man trying
yeah,
to burst anything.
I don't want to see Saquon in the preseason either. So I want to see Brightwell. I want to see Booker. See what they can do. But man, Booker. As far as when I
Brightwell.
looking back at my notes, Brightwell. Yeah, my bad. Brightwell. As far as my notes go, man, listen, this guy is, before he reaches like the 10-yard mark, he's so agile in between the tackles. He makes the first guy miss all the time, and he is so like his body type is so deceivingly quick. With his feet, his footwork is amazing, and then he picks up. He takes a little while to pick up. His acceleration's not all there, but when he starts going, oh man, good luck trying to get this guy down, man. Because with his speed and his power, you're not getting this guy down. And he just needed more reps in Arizona, man. I think he could have been a higher pick. It's just that people are overlooking him, man, because he played a smaller role.
I don't know if he could have been a higher pick because I was gonna say this. We're saying he's a great pick. But as a 6th-round pick, he's a great player to get in the 6th round, right? Like that's the context here. But also, because of that, he has a lot to improve upon. It's not like he had tons of snaps
for sure
at Arizona, right? So it's like he has a good amount of things to improve upon, and of course, the stats aren't there to really back him up. But like you said, like you could see what he could be if he continues to develop.
And I'm wondering because every time I watch the film, he doesn't really catch the ball at the backfield. Doesn't seem like a good route runner anyway. So he may have been a late round pick because of that reason too. Because nowadays we're seeing in the NFL these running backs have to be able to catch the ball. He may be one of those old school running backs that listen, I just run. Mm-hmm. I just freaking run. North and south, I run. So
Evan Ingram in the chat.
Evan Ingram and Daniel Jones in the chat. Let's go.
Where's Saquon? There's a Saquon account as well. Tommy G. Oh, we do have 4 running backs on the roster right now. One we forgot about, the foreign exchange student, Platzgummer.
Yeah,
and to be honest, there's not film that we could watch on him. So for all we know, Platzgummer could be better than Brightwell.
Yeah, I watched his highlights, but I watched Platzgummer's highlights. That this guy is like CJ McCaffrey, bro. But that's the German league, so I don't know if that's good or not. Because the level of competition, I don't know, But the way what he looks like in the German league, dude was a freaking Christian McCaffrey, dude. That dude was all over. Just like he's freaking quick as hell, man. He's White Chocolate Thunder.
I low-key kind of want to see him make, and I know it's going to contradict me saying that I like the Brightwell pick a lot, but I low-key want to see him make the roster over Brightwell just because I want to see him play. Like the foreign exchange guy, man.
I do too, man. I do because these guys really don't make rosters,
Mm-hmm.
Besides they come from the rugby league or whatever the case may be, but these guys don't really make the roster, so I'm excited to see what he can do.
Ingram asks, is Brightwell the Gallman replacement? Nah. The Gallman replacement was Booker. I think Brightwell, this is going to sound funny because he was only on here for a couple of weeks. I think Brightwell is the
Devontae Freeman?
Yeah, the Devontae Freeman replacement.
Yeah. I agree. He's a bigger Devontae Freeman, in my opinion.
That's like immediately what I saw from him, at least, when I was thinking Giants running backs. Shout out to Jay Berman for the $5 super chat. Thank you for it, the support, my man. He says, I really want to see more of Saquon in the passing game, less wear and tear, and a home run threat in space. Good stuff, Cushion KB. Thanks, guys. I think he's going to be, actually, I don't know. Because of just how many passing weapons we have now, is he going to be involved more in the passing game or less?
Well, I think when he's not on he's probably gonna, on passing downs, he's probably going to be in pass pro. Once he sees the opportunity, he's going to leak out, get a little bubble or whatever. Obviously, he's going to get some screen plays. But as far as what he was doing, like that 91, that was his rookie year, right? 91 receptions, or is it sophomore year? I can't remember.
That was his rookie year.
Rookie year, 91. He's not going to have that. He's not going to be put out in the slot. I mean, they have too much options.
And it goes back, they don't need him to do that anymore.
They don't need him. They don't need him to do that. But once he does get the ball in his hands, that guy is just as much as a receiver as anybody else. This guy is a great receiver. So
What up, New York
we'll
Blue
see what
Speak in here,
happens.
and they're gonna definitely like have him once or twice in a game have a reception just because Saquon, that's the makeup of Saquon Barkley in a game.
Yeah,
He's gonna run like 20 times and he's gonna catch the
yeah.
ball 5 or 6 times.
I
I hope
think
they
that
run him more than 20 times because 20 times
right.
in my opinion is too low, but we'll see.
I think there are going to be some times where the offense reaches a wall and they're going to have to ask Saquon to be more
They're gonna ask him to
to do
pull out
more.
the thing that he's best at in the receiving game, man. That running back screen where he went like
Right.
91 yards against the Eagles.
Exactly. Exactly. So, that's where I think will happen. Like sometimes he may have one or two like 8-9 reception games just because of that. Because when you leak out, get that dump off real quick and get your quick 5 yards, you probably have those games. But around average this season, probably 5-6 receptions a game.
Okay, that's
Five
kind of
6
low, I'll admit. But like I
for
said, yeah,
him.
I
Yeah,
understand it.
it's
You
just
know what
that
I'm saying?
it's just that we got so much weapons. Like unless they really run into a lot of brick walls, which I don't really envision happening. They run to a brick wall, they have to, dump off to him a lot. I don't see him, with him constantly, running the ball. I don't see him really being a need for as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You
And then
know,
Benny says, would you mind keeping Brightwell or Platscomer on the practice squad? 100%. Got no
100, yeah,
problem with
for
that,
sure.
bro.
We got 10 spots on there. Who the hell are we gonna bring on? I think Brightwell is definitely has a spot for him. Wait, and Rodarius Williams definitely has a reserve spot because this guy's not making the roster. All right, Rodarius is not gonna make the roster. So
Nah, I think he is, bro.
really, but over
I
who
really
though?
like
Like
Rodarius. Rodarius was like a third round dude that fell to the sixth.
I don't know.
Bro, he's making it over Yadam.
I don't even know about that. Yeah, listen, you guys don't like Yadam. I like Isaac Yadam. I think Yadam's still better than Aaron Robinson. I think Yadam is better than Aaron Robinson.
Nah, I'm gonna have to
Yes,
strongly disagree with you on that
yes.
one, Chief.
Yadam is a better. Well, they play different positions. Yadam's an outside corner, but
Aaron can play outside.
he's not going to play outside the NFL level. Just like Darnay is not going to play the outside the NFL level. Aaron's worse than Darnay, dude. He's not as good as Darnay. And I say Darnay is better
Well,
than.
first of all, let's say
Isaac.
this: how many cornerbacks are we running with? Do you think
6?
6? All right.
Yeah.
So we already know the top 3, right? Bradbury, Jackson, Darnay, right?
Okay.
Robinson, Yadam, Rodarius.
Julian Love. Where's Julian Love going to go?
Julian Love's permanently shifting to safety.
We have too many safeties, dude.
Nah, we're running with 4 safeties, right?
Okay.
McKinney,
All right.
Peppers, Ryan,
Peppers.
Love. Am I missing somebody from that safety group?
No, I think we're good.
There
All
you
right.
go.
If it works, it works. Then that's funny though. Who is going to compete? How many people we have on this roster?
91 right now.
91? Who is on this roster? I don't even know who the hell is on this roster anymore.
We could get to that in a second. Shout out to DJ Smooth for the next $5 super
I like
chat.
Rodarius, man.
He says,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
disagree. If you can't play for Rodgers, Watson, Wilson, you shouldn't be on the roster. Let me make it happen, period. It's a winning league, not a buddy league.
If you can't play for Watson
Wait.
and Wilson,
I think you misunderstood what we said.
I don't know what he's trying to say.
Rodgers can't play for Judge, not the other way around. The coaches don't play for the players, bro. The players play
Right.
for the coaches. So if
Right.
Judge thinks this man is not it, and Judge for sure knows that Rodgers doesn't match his values, what he wants for the team, he's not gonna be here. Now, if you're talking about the players, then yeah, I kind of agree with you. That's your quarterback. You got to play for them, and it's obvious that Devontae Adams had to deal with a lot of that over in Green Bay. But it comes down to the coach, man.
Right. He's just not DJ. All due respect, man. He's just not a good fit here. That's it. I mean, we can try to do these Madden trades all we want to, but it's not, dude. Come on, we gotta stop being like the Eagles. The Eagles are probably looking for Aaron Rodgers right now.
Because I remember the same conversation with Watson a couple months ago.
Yes, that's what frustrated me.
And then last year
we
was
just
Wilson.
went through this. That's what frustrated. No, it was last year. Last year before no, 2
That's
years
what I'm
ago.
saying though. Last year with Wilson.
Yeah, before we got DJ, we were talking about Russell Wilson too. So and that was more probable because Eli was at the tail end of his career, yada yada yada. But Yeah, I'm tired of all the quarterback talk, guys. If you want to talk about this wide receiver coming here, this defensive back's coming here, this edge rusher coming here, the Yannick Ngakoue sweepstakes, you can talk about that all you want. That's more like realistic. Don't talk to me about no Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 37 years old, and has toxic freaking traits to him, dude. Come on, man. I love Aaron Rodgers as a player. He's just not coming here.
And then speaking of Rodarius, because right before we got to that super chat, you said I like Rodarius. The last pick, 6th round, the last Giants pick, man.
Yeah, dude, he's good. I like Rodarius Williams. Listen, I hope he makes the roster. I really do. Brother Greedy Williams. Don't know if that means anything to you guys, but he is. Really, listen. I said this on my video when when I announced that they were drafted. He has that build that I'm looking for in my corners, and that is a jacked Squidward. You got to look like a jacked Squidward. It's a weird analogy, but you have to be lanky. You got to be kind of like quirky. You got to be kind of like nerdy looking, man. Just like have a long neck, long arm, long wingspan, and you just gotta be just like that, jacked Squidward, Jalen Ramsey like, William Jackson like, Marlon Humphrey like. Okay, these guys are long, lanky, huge wingspan. That's what I want in my corners. Rodarius Williams fits that mold to a T, and that helps him, contest 50-50 balls. That helps him, go ahead and get some past the defense. If he's getting beat on a route, he could easily reach his arms out, long arms out, and bat that ball away. All right, that's what I want in my defensive backs. And he does a great job at that. Let me tell you right now, man, this guy can get underneath a route, man. These dig routes, the post routes, the curl routes, he breaks down routes so quickly. He gets underneath routes so quickly and disrupts the route, disrupts the ball. He does a phenomenal job at doing that. Even in the end zone where things are getting like tight coverage, he's still able to do that. So he's a guy that, you're right, he's a guy that should have been drafted way earlier, and not sure what happened to him, but I'm not sure if he's got a lot of play time over there in Oklahoma State. I never look at play time and stats when I scout players, because I don't want it to cloud my judgment. But this guy should have definitely been drafted earlier. I really like this guy.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Rodarius was one of the first guys I scouted all the way back in January when I was making my first mock draft. Kind of like how Aaron Robinson was one of the first guys you scouted early on. For me, at that time, Rodarius was valued as a second, third round guy. And then he just kind of slipped through the draft. And I mean, I'm not angry that we got him in the 6th. I'm just kind of wondering why in the world did he slip? Is there something
Smith
that we're missing?
Right,
something
like Trey Smith.
The thing is, we know it's not a health issue. Otherwise, it would have come out by now. So I'm like, it's something in his play that we're not seeing. I don't know.
Tommy G says corners must play clarinet for KB, like Squidward.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I want my jacked Squidwards, man. That's what I want. But
Real New York Giants Mafia, you got a point. What money will we have for Rodgers?
That's what I said. I mean, you guys can all look under look in the crevices of your couches and find all the quarters you can, but it ain't gonna be enough for Aaron Rodgers because we don't have no money. Mm-hmm. We broke right now, man. We really broke.
And Tommy G, answer your question. Rodarius never missed a snap for Oklahoma State in 3 years. It's because he got held back a year that he's older. Straight up
starter.
Yeah.
Gucci Lopez, yo, KB, why didn't you finish your soundproof wall? I never got around to doing it.
But also, you only need it in specific spots. You don't need the entire wall.
I don't need to do the whole wall just because I'm scared to do most of the wall because it's gonna screw up my lighting. Because I don't got a lot of lighting.
Just soundproofing technology-wise, you only need it on the level that your mouth is. So
yeah,
in front of you, behind you, and then on the sides.
I need to put more on this side of the wall. I'm probably gonna put a little bit more just for aesthetic reasons on that side of the wall. But I really don't need it there besides the bounce back. I already took care of the bounce back. This is where I usually am, so the sound around me is getting covered. So, I just got to work on that wall more. I only got 6 squares there, so I need to put more.
And you were saying that Robinson to you is more of an inside guy. I think he can play outside, but he will be spending most of his time on the inside. Rodarius to me is an outside guy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This guy is a guy that likes to push you on the outside, sticks to you like glue, press man. Call me crazy. He reminds me a lot, and I don't want this to say this is a bad thing. He reminds me of DeAndre Baker as a prospect.
Really?
Like coming out of Georgia. Yeah, long, lanky press man corner, a guy that sticks to you on the outside, able to break on routes pretty quickly and bat down those contested 50-50 balls. Like he reminds me a lot of DeAndre Baker. I mean, DeAndre Baker, obviously first round prospect, he was better than Rodarius Williams, but there's a lot of similarities there with DeAndre and Rodarius. That's pretty much what comes to mind when I think about a pro comp. It's probably DeAndre Baker. And DeAndre wasn't bad. I mean, he wasn't terrible. He didn't have the best rookie season, but he had some upside to him. He wasn't terrible. We just need to keep Rodarius Williams away from barbecues and playing Madden. That's all.
Out of the 6 rookies that we drafted, which one do you think has the best chance of breaking out right away? And it could be an obvious answer if it is an obvious answer.
I think right away, I'm going to give 2 answers.
No. Give me one. You got to give me one.
Okay.
So choose one for those 2.
Okay. Kadarius.
Okay.
Williams.
My answer is
Williams.
Azeez.
Kadarius Toney. Azeez?
Yeah, but let me hear your Kadarius reasoning.
Kadarius, I think, is because I think we're just going to use him on so many different things. Like his skill set is a perfect match for everything. Like first play of the game, we could run a freaking end around with him, and then he's fast. In my opinion, he's faster than Darius Slayton, so we could put him on those sluggo routes and do what he does best: a wheel route here and a drag route there, a whip route here.
Don't sleep on Kadarius in the return game.
Right, and in the return game as well. I think just his versatility alone gives him the potential to be a breakout player. Now, it's very boom or bust. Who knows if he's actually gonna be as successful as he was? Because let's be real, guys. Let's be completely real. He made a lot of his money, slipping out of tackles and stuff like that in the collegiate level. Think about the NFL level. You are trained, you're programmed to tackle the right way. Okay, it's not. You guys aren't going to see him freaking going around Nick Bolton like that and making Nick Bolton fall on his face like he did in that highlight reel where he just made him fall. And Nick Bolton was coming right behind him, turned his head down, make Nick Bolton fall on the floor, and turn around and get into the end zone. That's probably not going to happen in the NFL level. So maybe a little lucky there, but I think if he still stays the same and gets a lot better, he can be definitely the breakout player.
The reason I said Azeez is because Azeez is starting right away. Like, Kadarius may start right away. It's still, honestly, there's going to be a competition between him and Slayton, but even then he's going to be the number 3 receiver. Like, right. Azeez is starting right away as the number 1 outside linebacker. So, I feel like by default of him getting way more snaps and him being involved just a lot more is probably going to mean that he, quote-unquote, breaks out quicker. But also, I think, and, maybe a little bit of a hot take. This is why I was thinking Azeez at 20 is because I think he might be a better prospect at outside linebacker than Kadarius was a prospect at wide receiver.
Oh,
if
for
that makes
sure.
Any sense. So I'm like, he has more ready-made tools to go.
Well, on top of that, AZEEZ Ojulari has been an edge rusher for he knows he has
the experience part,
the experience there. Kadarius Toney still struggles running routes. He doesn't run crisp routes. He relies on his speed to run the routes. I mean, he could do well against short routes, the drag routes. Like I said, he has a really good whip route, maybe a slant route. But those deep advanced routes, he's not like those post routes and stuff like that. The over routes, he's not fantastic in. So there's a lot left for him to learn there. So yeah, I think right off the bat, you're clearly right. Azeez is definitely a better edge rusher than Kadarius is a wide receiver.
Yeah, and then another draft question I had in mind, and I look at chat, and then bam, the question goes away because I'm out here looking at the chat. Let me see if I can remember it. What was it? My God, can't remember.
Who do you think's your biggest sleeper of our draft class?
Of our draft class, the biggest sleeper? It's probably the guy we were just talking about in Rodarius, just because I feel like since he was our last pick, maybe there's not that many expectations put on him. So he could possibly just come out and just surprise people, depending on how good he does in training camp and whatnot. Other than that, though, it's it comes to the point where it's I don't know if there's a contender for sleeper from this draft class because everybody was just right where they were supposed to be. I don't know.
No, but I'm talking about not sleeper as in a draft pick. I'm just talking about sleeper as in depth, because think about it. Aaron Robinson is low on the depth chart right off the bat. Ellerson Smith is pretty low on the depth chart right off the bat. Brightwell has Saquon Barkley ahead of him, and like you said, Rodarius Smith. So I mean, these guys are automatically, they're high draft picks. They're very good, but they're low on the depth chart. I'm going to say Ellerson Smith.
Really?
I'm gonna say Ellerson Smith. I think over time, I don't think from day one he's gonna be a starter. Life is gonna be great.
So does that
But
mean you think he'll be a starter at some point then?
I think at some point, if Lorenzo Carter doesn't get it going, I love Lorenzo Carter, but listen, Lorenzo Carter hasn't shown us consistently that he can be that guy. If Ellerson Smith develops and plays like the same way he did at 260 and gets stronger and faster and learns more moves, man, we're looking at a freaking beast. And having him and Azeez there, woo, would be insane. So I think my biggest sleeper to me is Ellerson Smith because there's so much more for him to learn at the NFL level that I think he can learn. It's going to take some time. So if he winds up starting by like week 12, week 13, that dude's got to be special.
I don't know about him starting in his first year. I think he's a dude that might take a couple of years, but we'll see.
Tate Crowder started due to injury, man. You never know.
You got it. A shout out to Kelvin for the $5 super chat. Thanks for the support, man. He says, keep doing your thing, young guns. Rodarius is more patient than Baker, though. He has some Bradbury in him in that sense.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I would just give him more like the body type, and sort of the play style as well. But you're right. Rodarius may be a little bit more patient than Baker is, but yeah, that's probably my best pro comp I can give there.
Here's my thing: if Lorenzo comes back and continues where he left off, which was him having his best season, do we resign him?
Yes.
So then, does Ellerson Smith have a chance of replacing him if we resign him?
Well, he'll be a rotational guy. Like, remember, even when Kyler Fackrell was still able to get reps and stuff like that, so they're gonna rotate guys. As far as what Patrick Graham's scheme is, they rotate guys everywhere. So it's not just gonna be Lorenzo Carter and Azeez just all the way. They're gonna get some reps, and if we can get a good think about it like this, the Denver Broncos, right? The Denver Broncos always had good pass rush. Shaq Barrett in his time in Denver wasn't even a starter, dude. His last year in Denver, he was a starter, but you knew who he was because he was always getting rotational reps. So, I mean, that's exactly what I think Patrick Graham would do is just keep getting these guys rotational reps, even though they probably deserve to be starters, but you have so much guys, you got to use them somehow, So,
by the way, chat, yeah, go ahead.
CGC said Ellerson in year 2 will be Zoe's replacement.
We'll have to see how good he gets.
Yeah,
I mean, I see why people are so high on him, but like, I don't see why people are that high. Like, that's very high. I'm not saying he's a starter
it's
in
potential.
his second year, man.
I think it's projection over production. I think people are seeing what he did at such a low level and only at like 240. And then getting up to 260 and learning more pass rush moves and coming to the NFL level with NFL coaches, it could work wonders for him, man.
And then I was gonna say, just guys, get your last questions in there. Anything you want us to answer that we didn't already answer. We're coming up on the end of today's episode here, but definitely get those questions in. Anything else you got a question about, KB? Interesting one or not?
Not really. I guess my question would be, where would you rank this draft out of all of Dave Gettleman's drafts for the Giants?
That's a tough one. I'm not going to give an answer just because, I mean, got to see them play first. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Got to see them play first. Like, recency bias would have me saying it's, like, the second best one probably because I think his best one was, like, 2020. And I think that I say 2020 because, and I even made a video on it when I said they need to put some respect on the Giants 2020 draft class. The Giants 2020 rookies had more impact on their team immediately than any other team's rookies that year.
Tell me about it. And we had the majority.
All of them started, bro.
And the majority of our picks were in the later rounds.
Exactly. Almost all of our guys started.
Mr. Irrelevant even worked out, dude. Well, for now.
Yeah.
Tate Crowder even worked out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2020 is definitely my top, man.
And then, like, after 2020, I mean, I don't know. 2018, 2019 are pretty close for me. I know a lot of people, for some reason, hate the 2018 draft, and I even did a video on that, why, like, the 2018 draft is way better than you think. But, like, 2018, 2019 is pretty close to me in terms of, like, where they would be in Dave Gettleman's draft classes for us. And then 2020, they haven't played yet, so I can't really say.
Yeah. Who was...
That's another good point, CG. The 2020 draft class was that good, and we lost McKinney early.
Yeah. Think about what McKinney... Yo, it's crazy. We're going to get McKinney playing a full season, dude. Oof. Can't wait.
Michael B says, "You guys think we're gonna lose Patrick Graham after the season?"
Listen, man. We're focused on the now. All right.
Yeah, man.
We're focused on it now. We're
Stop
not
thinking
thinking about the
about like
future right
after
now.
next season,
Yeah.
bro.
Because you want me to give
Jeez,
you a short and sweet
bro. That all
answer.
I'm gonna tell you this. That all depends on Pat Graham.
If
Cause,
we're
cause if he
listen,
wants to go somewhere else for head coach money, then that's up to him. He turned it down this year, but that was expected because he only spent 1 year here. It's gonna be different. This, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be different if he turns it down a
yeah.
second time.
Listen, man. I'll tell you what. He has another top 10 defense year. They're gonna be guys freaking
They're
ring
knocking on his door.
because he also has the character. Like he also has the way he presents himself. It's hard you not like that. So that's what scares me, man. That's
The
what scares.
reason I
Like,
want to say that we're keeping him though is because this is his second time with the Giants, right? Like he got his first start with the Giants. This is his second
mhm.
time back with us in a bigger role, and I feel like he legitimately likes what he's building. Maybe he wants to see it through a little bit more. But I mean, at the
I
end of the
hope
day, if
so.
somebody knocks on his door and says, "Yo, we're giving you like 6 million a year to come be your head coach," he's probably might leave.
Yeah, man.
And then let's see here, what's another one? Um, oh, I didn't really actually see another question. Yeah, Daniel Jones, you don't need to keep asking that. Yes, when the 2021 season schedule comes out, we're like every single YouTuber is gonna do a prediction video. It's
Yeah, May
okay.
12th. May 12th is coming out. And
Let's
that's
see.
also where I'm gonna pick my day off of my jobs and go to that Tampa game.
The Tampa game.
But,
Oh yeah, I was about to say because then you actually know when it would be.
yeah.
By the way, guys, while you guys are thinking of more questions, and we might end it off here quite soon. As you could see, I have the OG hub sweater on. This is from
Mm.
my OG line of merch. On the back, it says the year and everything. Check the link in the description if you want to get that. But new announcement, new merch announcement. Just
Ooh, baby,
this is
let's
just
go.
one line of merch. Oh nope, you know what? Let me do this instead. Let me actually share the entire window.
New merch alert.
New merch alert. One of two new ones, right? So there's gonna be a second design as well. Why in the world isn't this allowing me to just capture like Google Chrome, bro? Like what is this? All right. All right. Okay, Streamlabs, you're terrible. Like Jesus. Okay, Streamlabs doesn't want to work with me. That's fine. Can I still I could still scroll down. You're not seeing the whole thing, but if we go down here, one of two, the Leo Lion King merch, obviously the big cat.
Ooh.
We got Leo over there running. That's his hair is the main, and then you got a lion stamp, the Lion King. That's the light edition because you got a couple colors. It goes with lighter colors on the sweater, t-shirt, whatever you want to get. That's why it's called light. Then you go over to the dark edition of the Lion King, and it's just it's Leo. It's the same Leo, but you got it in white for the darker colors of t-shirts, whatever in the world you want to wear. All of that available right now on the Hub Teespring website. So go ahead, check it out, take your pick, and there's gonna be another one currently in the works of KADARIUS Toney. Hopefully that's gonna be out within the next 2 weeks or so. But those are the two new merch sets available right now on the website. Let's see now.
I see you, man.
Gucci says, "Why can't the Giants play Patrick 6 million a year?" Because I mean that's not a coaching salary for a defense coordinator, man. I don't know. I don't know how much we are paying him right now. We could be paying him 6 million a year right now. We just don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to Nikki in there, with the fire emojis as we're ending it out. It was a pretty good stream. We actually covered the entire draft and got some questions from y'all. KB, any last thoughts before we close it out?
No, man. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna have my analysis on the on our draft class coming out hopefully tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. I'm a little late on that, but I still gotta come out with it nonetheless. Our freaking our draft reaction to Devontae Smith. I posted the clip of that. That blew the hell up. Every Eagle fan in the world freaking
Loves it.
saw it. Yeah, and is commenting about it, even to the point where my flag football teammate found me on YouTube and texted me a screenshot. He's like, "Is this you?" I'm like, "Oh damn, you caught me." So they didn't even know I had a YouTube channel, but then they saw me. So, yeah, that one's blown up. But if you guys want to see our reaction to that, make sure you guys check it out. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely check it out, guys. Shout out to Talking Sports with Landon tuning in last, man. What up, man? But yeah, I don't really got any last thoughts, man. We're gonna see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I really want to know when the 90-man roster deadline comes up because I want to see who's that one dude. Like, it's gonna be one dude that we
it's
cut.
like, sorry, man, you
Like
gotta go.
you're the
You
most
gotta
unlucky
go.
guy. Yeah, but thank you all for tuning in, man. You guys were great.